Okay guys, we're going to start with step 3. This is taxes and insurance. Alright, you remember in the other steps you figured out what kind of job you were going to have and what kind of income you were going to have. So what you do here in the first part where it says tax 1 federal income tax, it says it's a variable tax. In other words, the tax can change. It can go up and down depending on how much money you make. So if you make between $1,000 and $2,000 a pay, then you multiply by 0.05, and that's your federal tax. If it's $3,000 to $4,000, then you multiply by 0.20. If it's $2,000 to $3,000, then you multiply by 0.15, and if it's $4,000 through $6,000, you multiply by 0.35. And which one of those four you use, you write that number down here where it says federal tax. The second one, Social Security, you take whatever your salary is, you times that by 5% or 0.05, and then you write that amount in the Social Security tax part. And when you get to health insurance, you want to pick which kind of coverage you have. Bare minimum, health care for the middle class, we got it all plan, or superior health care with dental plan. Whichever one of those you pick, over here to the right it has cost per month. You write down how much that is that you're going to pay for your insurance. Then you add your federal tax, your Social Security tax, and the amount you're going to pay for your health care, and you put that on the bottom where it says total amount of taxes and insurance. Then you take whatever your monthly salary is and you subtract the total amount of taxes and insurance, and you write it on the next page where it says total amount you have left over. Okay? Then to step 4 for housing. And you look on here and there's a whole bunch of different places you can rent, and it shows you what the living space is, how many rooms, all that good stuff. And then on the right it tells you what that's going to cost per month. So you decide how you want to live, where you want to live, and then at the bottom it says subtract the house or apartment payment from your salary after taxes and insurance. So you go to the top where it says total amount you left over, and then you subtract what your monthly rent or mortgage payment is going to be, and then you write that down at the bottom. Okay? And when you get to how much do you have left, you subtracted all of that from what your rent was, and whatever you had left, you write at the top of the page where it says how much do you have left. Then when you get to bills, you got to look. It says check the type of living space you own and add together the bills you owe each month. So if you go back and you look at your living space, some of these living spaces will say if there's anything included or if there's not anything included. So it says apartment, $35 electricity. So you go back here. Did you rent an apartment? Did you rent a townhouse? Did you rent a house? So if you own if you rent an apartment, it's only $35. If it's a townhouse or duplex, it's $100. A house, it's going to cost you $100 electricity, $100 for heat, $20 for water, $50 for home insurance, and then the mansion. So you write down what your bills that you owe on the line where it says total bills you owe, and then it says total salary left over. So you subtract the bills that you owe, and whatever's left goes on the next line, total salary left over. Okay? Then you get to step 5, bills to pay unexpected. And this is a little bit different. You're going to need a dice for this. You roll the dice, and you have one of 6 choices. So whatever the number is on the dice, you have to mark down what this is. So if you roll a 3, it says award is removed. You pay $300. That's an unexpected bill. Okay? When you get done with that, where it says health care company, you pay, and then the bare minimum health care, we got it all plan, superior health plan with dental plan. So what happens is, whatever health plan you picked earlier, you take the amount of the bill that you got from the dice, and then you times it by whatever one this is. So let's say you have health care for middle class, and you rolled a 2. So you'd have $200 to pay for a cavity times 0.6. And whatever that comes out to, that goes in the amount you pay. Then it says amount you still have so far. So you subtract whatever you had left from your from the previous page where it says total salary left over, and you subtract the amount you pay for the health care, and whatever's left over goes into where it says amount you still have so far. Okay? Then you go to the next page, which is step 6, the fun stuff, and you write down what you have left. Then it says let's start with food. Check 1 and subtract the amount from your salary from above. So now you figure out how you want to eat. It says bologna on hand, coupon cutter, let's get eating, whichever one it is. To the right of that, it tells you how much that costs. So then it says total salary left after taxes, insurance, housing, bills, and food. So you take whatever you have on the top of stick 6 where it says what you have left, you subtract your food, and whatever you have left goes in that next line. Then you get to step 6 continued, and it's transportation. You do the same thing. You go through this list of vehicles. Whichever vehicle you want to pick, you have to look to the right and see how much it costs a month. Then it says total amount after buying a car. So whatever you have left from the last page where it says total salary left, you subtract what your car is going to cost. Then you go to the last page, which is step 6 continued, and it says accessories. So you have all these different accessories. It says check all that you would like and can afford. So you go through the list, figure out what it is that you want, and you write down what that's going to cost where it says total accessories, and then it says total amount you have left after everything. So you take whatever you have left from the previous page, which is after you buy the car, whatever you have left, and then you subtract your accessories, and then what you have left is what you have left out of your paycheck. Hopefully, if you're looking over this stuff and you're not going crazy, you should have some money left over, or you should at least break even. If you end up in the hole, in other words, if you owe more than you can afford, you're going to have to go back through here and figure out how to cut costs. So hopefully this is a good enough explanation. I'm not sure if you're going to get this far through. If you need a calculator, top left hand of my drawer, there's calculators. And I'll make sure whoever is in there for the sub will make sure there's a calculator. I believe the box on the shelf has the Monopoly games in it. In the Monopoly games are some dice. You can use the dice from Monopoly game, but make sure the dice goes back in the Monopoly game. Okay? Make sure that happens. All right. If I don't see you, have a good weekend, and I will see you guys all on Monday. Bye.